Good evening, friends. It's Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. And if you are in this tribe, you are somebody who gets frustrated with technology and social media, and you don't have any patience for algorithms or SEO. In fact, you would rather spend your time with humans, with people, and not fiddle around with technology. So if that's you, you're in the right place, and this show is for you, because I believe there's a way for us to compete in marketing in this digital day and age. And our superpower, oftentimes in this tribe, is our empathy. Okay, so here's what I want to address tonight. I'm trying to remember exactly where this spark came from for this post, but I can't remember it. But here's what I know: it is prevalent in our tribe, and that is being bashful, being timid, being scared, being shy to share the very things that life has taught you. So let's talk about artists for a minute. Artists share their work, right? You are an artist in that life has given you some perspective and some gifts, some skills, some unique abilities. And when you combine all that together in a big old stew, what you get is your unique contribution to this world, right? Your important work. And so, like my brother is an artist. He has a studio, or at least he used to have a studio in Seattle. And they would feature other artists' work. Sometimes they would feature their own work, but artists would put their work on display, right? Please, public, come look at my art. And that art was for sale, and I'm sure some people would buy the art. But there is this sharing of, this gift of, this confidence in sharing your art when you're an artist, right? You spend time in your workshop to create the art, and then you take it out to the world and say, here's my art. And you're proud to share it, right? You're proud to share it. You're excited for opening night. So can you see the distinct contrast between how an artist views their work? They're like, I'm going to go work on this thing, and now I'm going to share it with the world, and I'm proud to share it. I don't apologize for it. I don't shrug off your compliments as like, oh, this old thing, oh, ha ha ha, this, oh, okay. Like, but so many of us in the messaging world, in the world where we as we want to be influencers, we want to make an impact in the world. A lot of us are coaches. Some of us are healers. Some of us are authors. Like, we want to make a difference in the world. But when it comes to marketing and putting your message out in the world, you don't do it like an artist does a show for their work. You do it bashfully and timidly. You have something to say, and you have spent time, like an artist spent time in a workshop working on their art. You've spent time ruminating on, thinking on, journaling on, reflecting on what life has taught you. That perspective is a piece of art, and you need to bring it to the world with conviction and passion, unapologetically. So here's my question for you. What has life taught you that you feel like the world needs to hear, but you've been too shy to share? That, friends, is the beginning of your important work. And what there is to do is share it. Now, if like an artist, you want to work on it for a bit, that's okay. But what you can't do is keep working on it and keep working on it and keep working on it and never bring your art to the world. And that, unfortunately, friends, is what most people do, because they're too afraid to be outcast. And their perspective is completely backwards. They're too afraid to be rejected. When in fact, you put your art out in the world, and what you find is people will come and admire your art. People will admire your message. It's easy to think that you're going to be met with just tons of haters who say all sorts of nasty things to you. And that is not the norm. The norm is that most people are very gracious and happy to interact with your art. And the ones who actually really interact with your art are closer to your tribe, right? So, as a messenger, what there is to do is begin to, if you haven't already, share what life has taught you. Share what life has taught you. And my recommendation is to share it often. Create art all the time. Create art, create more art, create more art. Don't just have one show, one exhibit of your art over the course of your entire lifetime. Have an exhibit of your art every week. Keep showing the world what you're creating. So, if you'd like help crafting your art, if you'd like a workshop environment where you can go to work on your art and bring it to the public, right? I've created a program called the Groundswell Method Intensive. It's a 6-week program with me, 2 hours of training a week, plus 2 one-on-one coaching calls with me in order to hone the message and art you have for the world. By the end of that 6-week program, we launch your podcast in the world. We launch your podcast in the world. You end up having a show that gives you a platform to continue to exhibit your art. If you'd like to do that, the place to start is groundswellmethod.com. There's a free video there. On the last page is an application. You fill out the application. It comes to me, and then you and I have a conversation about whether it's a fit or not, right? So if you'd like to learn more about that, go to groundswellmethod.com. Here's to you, gang, showing your art, sharing your art with the world. See you tomorrow.